Let's compare direct variation to inverse variation. What is the difference between the two? What are the similarities? When two things are varying directly, meaning like let's take x and y, and say x goes up, then if y also goes up, it is direct variation. And if x and y decrease together by the same ratio, then it is direct variation. Direct means both x and y increase or decrease together. Inverse variation, that is the opposite. Like two things are varying in an opposite or an inverse fashion. Meaning if x goes up, then y goes down. Or if x goes down, then y goes up. How do we represent it mathematically by a mathematical model? Um, let's say if x varies directly with y, then we say x is equal to k times y. Now this k is called the constant of variation or constant of proportionality. So, and this is constant or remains unchanged for a particular situation. Now you can see, let's put in some numbers. Let this be x equal to 5. Let k be 5 here. 5 times y. Um, if and you can see if x goes up, then or let's say if y goes up, then x is 5 times that number, so x is also going to go up by a ratio of 5. So that is the idea behind direct variation. Inverse variation, the mathematical model is x is equal to k over y. And now you can see if y becomes small, and when you're dividing by a small number, x becomes big. So as y keeps going smaller, x keeps getting bigger. And the opposite happens when y keeps becoming bigger, and if you divide by a bigger number, x keeps becoming smaller. So they affect each other inversely. Um, say if this there is a question, if x and y are connected by, say, this expression 2xy equal to let's say 3, is this representing direct variation or inverse variation? So question is this direct variation or inverse variation? Now just rearrange the alphabets. Can I divide both sides by y? Okay, let's divide both sides by y, and I get 3x equal to 3, 2x equal to 3 divided by y. I'm dividing both sides by y. Now, does it represent this model or does it represent this model? X and y are in the opposite, like one is in the numerator, the other is in the denominator. So this represents inverse variation. Let's take another example. Let that be, say, x over 2y equal to, say, 5. I can multiply both sides by 2y, and what do I get? X equals to 10y. Now, what kind of model does it represent best? Does it represent a direct variation or does it represent an inverse variation? Inverse variation, remember, on the opposite sign of equal to, both x and y are in the, one is in the numerator, one is in the denominator. Now, since both are in the numerator, this definitely is a example of direct variation. There's another kind of variation that we talk about sometimes, and that is joint variation. Now, joint variation is combination of direct and inverse. Like if I say x varies directly with y and z, that means this is how you will represent it mathematically, that x varies directly with y and z. If the statement says x varies directly with y and inversely with the square of z. So as soon as you read the word inversely, just put that variable in the denominator. If you do not see the word inversely, keep putting it in everything in the same straight line in the numerator. So I hope that helps you solve the questions on the assignment.